in our
We just wanna
community
do
right
that.
now, if you go directly by our social media, we hate each other.
Yes, it's inflammatory. It's inflammatory.
And
right
it's
now.
anything any political side does, anything, any side does, you're an asshole, they're an asshole. If you believe it, you're an asshole.
I'm not your friend anymore. I'm off.
So what
Yeah,
happens?
if you believe this, fuck you, unfriend me. Like,
Yeah. So what
I- I
happens
will-
if you cut all that shit out though, and then get to the meat and potatoes? What do you have?
There you go. What, yeah.
mean,
Then there's
how
that,
do
like
you-
you know what I mean? Like I mean, because as long as there's social media, whatever shit like that, you're always gonna get
got
somebody
us,
else's
you got
propaganda
us.
fucking
Yeah.
shit, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
When you take that
If
stuff
that
away, you
makes
got
sense.
us. You got us. You got human
Yeah.
beings. You got flesh and blood. You got DNA.
Yeah.
You got certain things within you that's connected to the universe. That stuff is not political. That stuff is not nothing to do with Donald Trump or Kamala Harris or or Joe Biden or any of these people.
Preach.
Those people are at a different level. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know what they're going to do. You could vote for them 1 second, and the next second it's not going to be what you thought it was. All of a sudden, and then you might be like, "Whoa, what did I do?" Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, or it could be something. Maybe something comes out the way you like it, but that don't have nothing to do with your local community and your family, really, except for on a macro level. It's like macro and micro. Like, oh Lord, not right now. Not right now. Not right now. That's Sierra
Continue,
Nevada.
bro.
So
Continue.
if you were to run for whatever, I would be behind you just for the simple fact that I know you.
Yep.
That's a problem.
I'll be behind you too.
Yeah.
And
then
I'll
we
be
might
behind
get
you
some,
guys.
maybe the next neighborhood,
Yeah.
you know, but this is local stuff. We're not on that federal level. Nobody even knows about me on a
You know,
federal
it'd be-
type of
you know,
level.
it'd be a good
What
point.
is that
Yeah.
correct way? Not the correct way, but that's that old saying like you gotta crawl before you walk. right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it starts somewhere. You know what I mean? Like
We made truces in our own
Until-
neighborhoods, and
Yeah.
we always been like that. Like when I was in my neighborhood, no matter what neighborhood I've been in, including this one, I always try to make truce and peace. I've been right here in Oxnard, in California, in the 805. Showed up from Hawaii, didn't know nobody, and made peace and made, amongst people that was already one. You know what I mean? And that's simply because I know. Well, it's not because of me. It's because that love is already flowing through creation naturally. So if we can tap into it, if we can find a way to agree on something, then we can tap into that, right? It's not something that I made up or it's something that I'm like that truce, all the truces, the gang truces they've had over the years. It's because everybody agreed. It wasn't because of one person. It's just because somebody found a way or a group of people found a way. In the midst of war, because there always is warfare going on. It's a savage place, you know. Like we've learned to worship the universe, right? Like we don't want God, we want the universe. But the universe is rough. That's a rough place. You know what I mean? Like if you don't
Yeah.
want to deal with the creator because of religion or because of these types of also man-made things, okay, cool. But the universe and nature, you could worship that, but you could also be destroyed by that. And we will eventually all be destroyed by that, right? Physically. But spiritually, the universe has components, and I believe that there is a creative force behind the universe. I think that that's very obvious.
I got two questions. I want to get back to this. And let's
I know
just make
nobody
this.
even asked me a question. I'm just running my mouth.
Let's make this the interview, okay? Since we're here. My first question to you is, what do you believe is afterlife? Hold that one. My second question is to you, by our conversation and how we just went along and we were just talking about like real problems, real shit problems. We weren't like, oh, let's record this or anything. We just have it recording because we're trying to record the process of you guys, putting together a song and your harmonies. And it was a long recording. But when that is there, what we just talked about is real shit. And I think that our community is unlike any other community in the entire world. I think we are the leaders of the world in how we respect each other, how we marry each other, and we are a true melting pot, and we respect each other's. Like, think about Oxnard. If you're black, we love your culture. If you're Samoan, we love your culture. I mean, if you're Mexican, we love your culture. You know, even whites,
Yep.
we love their culture. We don't, although like pockets of us might fuck around, we all love each other. We all take care of each other. And it saddens me to know that our community is like that. So you were saying some things, like a political, like what, would you be interested in performing on like a pier for a political, what were you saying? You said it, a political reconciliation day? That it is not about politics. It is not about anything but the love we have as human beings, and we don't have to say nothing. We just want to enjoy each other in music.
Well, you know, the performance part of it is I don't know what that is, but as far as us getting along and doing our thing together, that's just a matter of organization, and organization around certain ways of thinking. And certain other ways of thinking can disorganize things. And that has mostly to do with the ego. We talked about ego death earlier. I really love that conversation. You know, pull up his Instagram. Let's see if it's for real. I mean,
we were fucking with Ice.
Everybody's got some kind of struggle with the ego, and that's really obvious nowadays, right? It's really obvious nowadays. You could talk to somebody about something political, which is the last thing to not be friends about, or to not build a community about,
or to lose a relationship over
or
years,
lose a relationship, or not talk to your family, or something,
or not go to holidays over you picked a certain like.
I feel like our
together,
community
you know what I
went,
mean? Like,
yeah,
what's
just
that?
share
Like, what's the
food
deal?
together. Yeah,
I feel our community took a huge step backwards, and I feel
Yeah.
that we were ahead of the world, and that we
We
now
are
we're
ahead
like
of the world when it comes to cultures coming together. There's no doubt about that. There's just been
But we're
some
more
kind of
divided
there's been
now.
a lot of division lately. And I think that, you know, that whole
It's
thing
mostly
in 2020
pride
had
and
something to do
ego.
with that. You know, there was a lot going on in 2020.
Yeah.
That it's been a little progression in the last 5 years. That we do need to look at that. And at some point, everybody's going to look back and say, oh, it's like those long ass shoes that women used to wear, and we're like, nah, that ain't it. Yeah, it is. I was like, nah,
that ain't it.
shoes, man. Like,
That ain't it. You better
I know
take
it's
some shits
Italian,
off.
and, you know, you got Italians have been doing a lot of great things when it comes to style for years.
That one's
but
hot.
not that
But
one.
that one ain't hot.
You know, they didn't
Take that
believe
shit
us
back to
till
Italy.
like 2012 or something. You know.
yeah.
And I think I think we're going to look back on this and see some things where we could have got along with our family better. You could have, you know, it's like my mom. She's really politically opinionated all of a sudden.
Oh no
You
shit.
know what I mean? I'm like, Mom's like, wait, we used to talk about this stuff all the time. And if we disagreed, you would just try to tell me your part of it, and I try to tell you what I'm saying, and then I ain't never.
Is it confrontational? Like
now it's
to,
confrontation.
Oh no.
Now
So
it's
you try not to bring it up?
And I try to just like, I feel like I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hold on.
You know, Mike had this, and he had the bob and weave, and then he had this, where he was slipping like way back. And in the
Matrix, baby.
back. I just feel like
I'm gonna do a voice and tell me you react like your mom would react, all right?
Yeah. So the voice he does, I want you to be your mom, and like,
Okay.
She's
Ma!
at this rally.
Yeah.
I want you to. How would you react at this rally?
These people are great people. Look at these people. They're amazing people.
Isn't he wonderful?
I love your mom. I love it. That's a great
Miss
woman.
Williams, you're the
This
man.
lady is amazing. I love your mother.
She's beautiful.
She's cool.
Let
cool,
me
man.
tell you
She's been doing it a long
this.
time, so I
She did
respect her. You know, I
she did a
respect her.
great job with raising this kiddo. Look at this guy.
He's one of the best artists ever.
He's probably the best one on the Red Light District show. It's great.
You and Deepak are the best artists ever come through this
Deepak.
show.
Do I know about this, brother?
Deepak, yeah.
Deepak
Maybe you're
Chopra,
not.
Deepak Chopra.
No, he's just named Deepak.
This is an art, like a musical artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not hip to it. Like, have we talked about it?
He's in a band called Robot Nature.
Okay.
I swear to God, I have almost every Rising Sun song in my
I
playlist.
respect your opinion when it comes to music, Tim,
He's a
Because I
dude.
say you're the best.
yeah, for that very reason, yeah.
Honestly, bro, I've come through them all, and you and him are the best artists ever. Yes, ever come through my show.
That's
I
a
mean,
lot. There's a lot of people come up in this show.
I mean, we've gotten like. All right,
And you've heard Johnny Clark and Hugh Mundell. Like, you've heard these guys?
all right.
Okay, I gotta
Well,
I hear you. Yeah,
those guys haven't been on the show. He's what he's saying. Like,
They haven't been on our show.
yeah. If they've been on the show, then you probably get bumped
Yeah.
down the list. Yeah.
I mean,
don't only listen to music on
we've
the
had
show,
311, we've had Super Duper Kyle, we've had Revolution.
Man.
We've had. I mean, think about it. We've had a
all
lot of
kinds
people.
brothers. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are all people I love and respect, man. I think there's so much music going on in California alone, and like, it's just incredible. Like it's taken off. Like, we've been doing it for a minute. And we've seen a lot of groups come and go. We've seen a lot of groups coming up that are staying strong right now. Like it's incredible, man. And it wasn't everybody that we thought that people would take to. You know? And I didn't know who's going. You never know who's going to take to what. Same thing with politics. You know? Music is similar in that way, and that somebody could put something out. All of a sudden, I'm sure a lot of artists can agree with this. The songs that hit, like what? The song, this one?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
like this song? Like, okay, let's do it. You know, and then all of a sudden, they're doing that song and they're doing that song, and it's incredible because what connects with people, you never know what it is. But as long as something connects, you know, like
And even the way you write too, it's heavy. You know what I mean? It's not light. It's not like you're. "Oh, I'm gonna put the word the there, and I'm gonna put the word Rasta right here. It's not like that. It's heavy, bro.
I mean, heavy. I
try
think
to be reflective
it
on it.
carries a lot. I think what a heavy.
It resonates.
It's a positive. Yeah, it's like
it's a positive influence in our life.
Yeah.
that's our new thing, man. Resonant, man. Resonant.
See?
That's our new thing.
there you go.
Yeah.
And
That's our new thing.
it's galvanizing the reason out the rationality behind those lyrics. You know what I mean? It's I'm excited for you guys to play.
We're trying to find that frequency that resonates with people. There's a sweet spot, right? There's always a sweet spot somewhere in the mix, no matter what it is. And I believe even with this politics, there's a sweet spot in there where people are going to say, "Hey, we gotta come back to local people getting together and loving one another, like and building communities."
So
Absolutely.
that's what I was saying. I was saying maybe because you gave me the idea, like let's find a place where we can just go to celebrate our community and forget about
Yeah.
politics. And maybe in because there's no other dude to do it besides you. You know what I mean? As a
Everybody can do it.
unified, or
You could
maybe I'll
call
get
these-
Deepak. I don't know if you don't want to do it. I'll get Deepak. Whatever.
I'm sure he could do it. Anyone right here could do it. Hey, you could find me on this chair. Like we could switch. It's like musical chairs over here. We could switch to where he's doing his thing and I'm singing backup for his song.
No, yeah.
Or whatever. 'Cause
Yeah,
everybody you
fucking
see
A.
right here
Well, because
now-
you even asked them like, who wants to take this? Like, I'll take mid because I feel like that's your comfortability.
Yeah.
But if you needed to go high or if you need to go low, vice versa, anyone will get you. All right, hey, I'm not comfortable. I can go this way or whatever. And it's beautiful. Like that whole looking back to it, how you guys were like trying to figure that out is fucking magic. It's awesome.
What do you believe when you die? And are you like? Because you are to me, you're an enigma. Every
That's a
time
good
I try to
Figuring
try
it
to
out?
talk to you, it's you always say the right thing, but without answering it. You know what I mean?
Well, the key
question-
thing is believe. You know, the key thing about
What does
when
that
we
mean?
die,
What is
we don't
belief?
know. We don't. None of us knows. And so,
So you say you believe, and I listen
Yeah.
through your music that you do believe. What does believe mean
believe means for me,
for you?
it's faith before fear, right? And so, instead of when I think about life,
What is your faith? Is your faith a Jesus? Is it a Buddha? Is it a Jehovah Witness? In like, is it something else? Because I don't see you that way, and the reason, and when I listen to your music, it seems like God is everything to you.
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. The creator of this world is everything to me, you know. And I'm not saying that I know exactly the nature of God because nobody does, including myself, especially myself, I would say. But I know that there's I know that when I look at creation, I see creation. I don't just see a random pool of elements that is coagulated together. Although it depends on where you go, right?
Yeah.
But definitely in general, I would say that all evidence points towards
Designer.
design,
Yeah.
whether it be on the cellular level, whether it be on the macro level, whether it be a galaxy, whether it be a planet, whether it be a solar system, whether it be the entire universe as a whole. And not that we know what that is, not that man knows what that is. You know, a lot of times we like to think, okay, well, you know, with science, the idea is what has been discovered and what has been seen and verified is what truth is, right? But with faith, what it is what has not been seen is verified by what has been seen. Right? I can verify that there's a DNA code there, the strand of DNA, any strand of, and then there's cells there. I can see that this looks a lot like the galaxies and the planets and these other things that are that have certain orientations, right? In
talking about
time and
DNA?
space. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
DNA
agree to that.
definitely has a structure.
understand.
You know, DNA definitely has a structure. Let's take DNA for example, right? Or RNA. Both of these have structures, and both of these are specific structures that. It's not like you could just throw a bunch of stuff. You can't just throw a pool of water together. And science has not proven that you can do this. Like, you know, if there is proof of that, then show it. I'm sure Professor Dave might say, this guy's an idiot. You know, these guys are idiots. This is how what's been proven. But no.
Put it in the comment section.
Yeah. Professor Dave, I ask you to just just zoom out a little bit. You know, zoom out a little bit. Stop hating so much. Because scientists have not figured everything out, and neither have people that believe, you know. So, but faith over fear is a thing, you know what I mean? Faith before fear is a thing.
There's a theory that goes, our DNA has been modified, and there has, and through the the modifications to our DNA that cannot be explained are called junk DNA. Is that, what do you, like, is that something you consider in that situation?
Sure, why not? Why?
Is that what you're alluding to when you're talking
Well,
about DNA and how it maps out the stars?
Okay, when it comes to junk DNA, we're talking more along the lines of evolution, right? So where you have DNA that seems to have been coagulated or designed over certain millennia, and time could always be the master for that.
Could,
right?
yes.
That over so many millions, well, maybe more millions of years, things have kind of coalesced into these different shapes, different designs.
Based on evolution and how it's
Right.
survival.
And then there may be a bunch of junk outside of that,
Yeah.
you know. And so that's certainly a possibility. Why would that not be a possibility? Why does that disprove a creator? Just because there's evolution, to me, that is also proof of design and creation, right? That means that there is some method by where things are designed over time, and that is something that you can look at from this. We have the unique advantage of looking at this from this perspective, right? And so there could be people that have that unique advantage, or beings that have that unique advantage well into the future. May have been people that knew about that in the past, and there certainly are. But these are all methods of design. Whether it comes to whether you add time to the equation or not, that does not preclude or exclude a creator, you know. And but I do know that also that the universe that we live in right now, you know, is also can be very chaotic and destructive. You know, so there is junk in there. There's junk that gets spit out of a black hole or a solar system or the Earth
sun.
cloud. You know, the sun itself, the Earth. You know, there's things that go on and processes that go on that will grind you down and will break every physical element and throw it out into space like it's nothing. Yet here we all are talking about it, and here we all are viewing it from the plane of the Milky Way galaxy, but on the perfect spot to where it's dark enough where you can view the entire, not only the galaxy, but every other galaxy to almost to the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Now to what, 350,000 years is the latest,
crazy.
I
Yeah.
believe, the latest calculation from telescopes like the James Webb Telescope and others. But the James Webb is incredible. And what it shows us is that we are looking at light from almost the beginning of time. Now, why is that? Why is that? Is that because there's no creator? And is that because it's all coincidence? Is it also coincidence that we're actually looking into the beginning of time? That I find very hard to believe. if I also have to believe that I'm standing here with arms and legs and a guitar and all these speakers and all these cables and stuff, and I still have to believe that all this is coincidence, I already found that hard to believe. But now I have to believe that we're standing on the edge of the solar system in the perfect spot to view all of time by coincidence. That's very hard for me to believe.
The one
So I believe otherwise. I believe that there is a creative force behind the universe putting us in this very spot at this very time.
One of the things that is the one thing that's the most important to me is me as a father. The hats that I wear. And you as a man, I look up to you. I've always looked at you as big brother.
Likewise, brother. Yeah.
I always say, that's big brother.
Yep.
I've tried to follow his lead. I try to be that example in the community like you are. I'm just a little loud, and I come up short sometimes. But
Me
as a
too.
father, I wonder, because I have so much respect for you as a big brother, how do you teach your kids that? What do you teach your kids?
Mm.
Because everything we talked about is way too. What do they know? You know what I mean? Like how can we explain that to them and they go, okay, and what do you do to try to instill in them at a younger age?
That is tough, man. That is tough. But we're both learning. The thing is, we were talking about this earlier too. We're both learning, and these fathers right here, they know about this, and I learn from them too. We're learning when you get on a child's level. I feel like that's where we can learn how to relate to them, and just by listening, and just by watching every cue, and being in the moment with them, because. If I go outside and I say, let's plant this seed, and my son Elijah says, he gets so excited, he gets just excited just to be outside.
Yeah.
Then I say, I'm outside. Oh yeah, I'm outside.
You forget how
This is
exciting
cool.
outside
Like, this is really
sometimes.
cool, And then I've got these seeds in my hand, and I give him a couple of seeds. He looks at it and he goes, he gets so excited. And then I also had the power to tell him, from that seed we could grow a whole tree. We could grow a whole. Remember when we ate that pepper? We could grow 10 more peppers like that just from that one seed. And then we start getting into this type of conversation. So when you start with the most simple, basic form with children, that's what's so beautiful about it. And I believe that's why Yeshua, the man they also call Jesus, the God they also call Jesus, because obviously this is a God. If he could be tortured by his own people and be sent to death, then this, and he can give his life for everyone else around him. If you did that right now, you'd be a God, right? But this is a man that did that in those times when stuff was way more rough, right? Like it was way more rough to do that back then.
Yeah.
We do that now, they just look at us like we're crazy and send us to jail, right?
Yeah.
Or to 5150. But back then, back then, it was stoned to death. It was cross. It was that type of thing. And then what the cross represents is vertical ascension to God, horizontal stuff that we deal with, right?
I'm
So
gonna ask you-
you're bringing the two together, but still ascending to God. And so this is also what that mystical meaning of the cross is. And the Ethiopian cross also has much more still other circles going on within that shape.
Fucking talk to you forever about this shit. But I know it's getting late. I got one more question for you. You talked about Yahshua. You talked about Jesus. I can name 7 off the top of my head of saviors who were born of a virgin, who died, was buried, and rose again after 3 days, which all coincide with our celestial cycle of the sun.
25th type of thing.
Yeah. What is the difference between Jesus, Yahshua, and the Horus, every
Krishna, yeah.
you can keep on going
Beings
with
like this, yeah. Well, there are several differences. If you look into it, you could start with the number of heads that one of these beings might have, the type of beings they are. What is it? Does it have an eagle head on it? Does it have is it something that's unapproachable as a human being? Is it a different type of being from a different realm. Yeshua is the only one that's actually a human being suffering on a human level, right?
Right.
These people that you're talking about, or these beings that you're talking about, while I respect them a great deal, and maybe I have more to learn about them. Maybe I don't know enough about Krishna, but I know that Krishna had blue skin and was from a completely different realm. He wasn't necessarily, and there was a lot of chaos and other types of beings that I've never been able to.
Horus he was the head of a
In
eagle.
Egypt, you had Horus, yeah, with the eagle's head, right? And so these are beings that
Maybe different dimensions.
maybe the same vibrations for different cultures in certain dimensions.
Oh,
I don't
I
know
like that.
because I
That's
wasn't
cool.
alive at that time,
Yeah, yeah.
and I don't know exactly where that's coming from. But I'm alive in this time, and I know I'm actually really glad that God revealed Himself in the form of a human, in the form of a human, like just a chill guy like Jesus. You know what I mean? Like that's chill. I can relate to that. I can't relate to Horus because I don't understand that, and I don't think anybody here in this time does. There may be some Egyptologists that might know something about hieroglyphics or something, I don't know, which would be anything, the first thing, right? But I just don't know about that, man. But I'm glad that there is a being here that representing us like that.
This is dope conversation, right? Yeah. We had a dope conversation.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All
Tim,
right.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you guys, man.
Well, thank you,
guys are
bro.
dope, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know what my favorite song is? Rising Sun is Love Life. Add that shit. It's dope.
Hey.
What do we got going here? What is this band?
This right here, I got a
do we
project
call
called
it?
Resonant.
Resonant.
Reznant. That's where you find that song Warfare that I did with on the Massive Rhythm. And then this
Oh,
is
that one?
also,
Yeah.
I gotta say, man, this is also Heavy Hitters.
Oh,
Heavy
Maury?
Hitters, Maury and
Yeah.
Heavy Hitters, like,
You know Maury.
I don't.
Bro,
Half
Maury,
the
you like...
time, half
Hey,
the time I don't know myself.
I'm fucking so glad you're here. Like, I'm so glad that we get one shot with you. Like, I didn't know you never been on a show. I sing your praises all the time, bro.
Man, I'm glad that
He hits
got
me up. He
invited
goes,
here,
"Hey, you know
though.
who we have on?" I was like, "Who do you?" And he was telling me about it. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Hey man, I'm a regular guy like everyone else, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
But you just have a superpower to sing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it superpowers. I call that
Blessing.
call that hang on by the wind. Get it from his mama.
And you're, it's like warm being around you because I was warm. I was raised on Wainini, you know, and a lot of the Samoans, like, they were real nice to me as I was a
He got
nerd.
picked on by the Samoans.
No, I was a nerd, and those dudes, in my freshman and sophomore year, I was a nerd, and the
It's rough,
Samoans,
man. It's rough,
they would
yeah.
take care of me, and then when I
Yep.
was like a junior,
Family.
bro, I didn't even.
Did
I
you
didn't
buy
do
their
it.
lunch?
No,
No, I'm
they were
joking.
just straight
I'm joking, dog.
They were nice for no reason. They were nice for no reason. And so anytime I'm around someone Samoan, since that point forward, I'm like, my heart is drawn to you. And so I don't know, because you guys, I got protected in a time where I needed someone to protect me, and there were Samoans. And
Right
I didn't
on,
even
man.
know them.
I can't say-
Right on. No, you know,
That's awesome.
that's cool, man. Like, yeah.
Because like when I'm perceived as a white guy, you know what I mean? In Wainini, and
Yeah.
think about it, Wainini, Mexican, black. There's nothing else, and I would get picked on because they would perceive me as white. And no
Hey,
one likes whites.
Don't
in
feel
Wainini.
bad because they perceive me as a big ass, tall Filipino. Just because I'm cut with, you know what I mean, with Chinese, though, man. Like, you know what I mean? But that's.
I knew you were Samoan, bro.
Mm.
I can tell. Your vibration, too cool.
Oh, good, man. You know what I mean?
Oos.
We all from the Pacific or whatever, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Spread
Man,
love,
hey,
man. Like, you know what I mean? Same way my brother spread love is like everybody else, you know? Both of these guys, man. You know what I mean?
Mikey right here, man, with
Yes, sir.
Legalizer, like, tell him what you just did in Long Beach, man. Tony, you down there with Tony Chen.
That's
and
the
Hey,
Fly
this
Bro.
fool used to be in Goldfinger.
I did,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know he was in Goldfinger?
No, I didn't know that. What?
You don't know who Goldfinger is, huh?
Are you talking about what's his name? Mike Myers?
No, not
No.
the movie. The band, man.
Goldfinger?
The
The
band.
band.
No, I don't know.
The
It's like a
band.
ska band.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. This
The
bro,
Superman.
Goldfinger is dope. Like I'm.
Is that
like,
now
look
stuff
at-
or that's like back in the day stuff? Narcore. That's Narcore. I know.
I
that is.
love punk rock. And this was a part of our scene.
It was ska like.
It was like it was Sky.
Okay. Okay. Man, I'm not. No. See, I'm not hip.
You're not hip with
I'm
it.
not hip to it, man. I came out here too
Yeah,
late, man.
Goldfinger is one of my.
Did you get puss when you were on
Oh
tour
my
with them?
god.
Now come on.
Mercy.
Like just for being in the
Hey, you
band.
can't put him on.
You know,
blast
me and
like
my
that,
wife,
dog.
me and my wife
His
were
wife might be
together.
watching.
So
Oh, you were together at the time?
yeah, so no, but she'd come out and
Do you want
see
me
me
to
on.
just blur your face?
No,
He's gonna need it. He's gonna tell the truth. He's gonna tell the truth.
I just, you know what, touring's
Yeah, that-
fun, man. So I think if you're a musician, you get an opportunity to do some tours. You know, whatever point that is in your life, it's
Because I
So
always
it's
wondered,
amazing.
like, because you're just a trumpet player or whatever.
yeah. I played I
Like,
played horn
can
with
the
them. Yeah,
trumpet player get
trumpet
some
player.
horns?
He
'cause
is
they
not
had a horn
just a
section.
trumpet
The
player,
horns
bro.
get some play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the horns get
Well,
He
you
is
know what?
not
Horn-
just a trumpet
Horn
player,
players
bro.
get a lot of work though, which is cool. You know what I mean? So
They get-
different
they get
things.
blamed
so-
I mean, if
everything.
you could go on a tour with a fucking Goldfinger as a
Right?
trumpet, I'm going.
Right.
I'm gonna go every time. Oh, you mean I just
Lord
had
have
to
mercy,
play
though.
my
Nah,
shitty
hey,
trumpet
hey,
a little bit?
Yeah, nah, he rocked the crowd though, man. Like, hey, dog, like I can't explain it, man. Like, so you've been playing with legalizers for a while and shit like that. And
Yeah.
I remember when I was like probably like 19, whatever. At
Legalizers?
19, 20, maybe 20, 21, the latest.
No, I
But-
think I know
Yep,
that. That's a
I
band.
Yeah, the legalizers.
My reggae
bro.
band here in
Yes.
Ventura.
Yes.
Oh, I know you
Legalizer. We used
Yes.
to play.
Yes.
We started playing at Wine Lovers in Ventura, and
You
all the
don't-
spots. Watermark back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. all
You
of
don't
those
remember
spots.
us? You don't remember Red Light District?
From back then? No.
Yeah, bro. Come on.
What?
Stop it.
Wait,
How
are you talking
long?
about
How
Red Light
long?
District or No Cover Magazine?
Remember No Cover? Yeah.
Oh, no cover.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
Red
I
Light.
mean, well, yeah, you know what I mean,
Red
like.
Light- Red Light's
2008?
different, man.
See, he remembered because he just said no cover.
Well, I mean, I wasn't associated with no cover until like
Later.
Later?
2012.
Oh, man.
All right, now
2011, 2012. Right after you left, I
Yeah.
got involved with them. So, November 2012? No cover?
Just say yes so we can get it going.
Yeah, can we just go? Will you guys just play your
Yeah.
songs? You just want to play songs?
Yeah.
Then fucking
man.
get going.
Let's play a song.
Play a song.
Which one did we not do?
That was a dope interview, huh? It was a dope interview, huh?
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah, that was nice.
That was a great interview.
I had a damn reverb on. Can you cut that off?
Nah.
No, that makes it better.
Yeah, it makes you look
Like you're ready for us.
like you were Jesus.
Like you're
talking to us.
like you were gonna play a song, but then like 45 minutes later happened and you forgot you had the reverb on.
Yeah.
I was just in the interview. I was just asking you questions. I was like, I think you know about this. I'm gonna let you riff. And then like,
I thought he was.
I was
going
like,
to,
oh, you do.
I thought
Okay,
he was
let's
going
go.
into God DNA for a minute too. I'm thinking, oh, shit.
Yeah, that's what. Hey, that's what we need to get into. That's
Yeah. Well,
those are the. What is an interview without that? You know what I mean? It has
I know.
To, it has to include that.
Yeah.
I mean, what else do we want to talk about? Let's see. What was the other?
Some
one?
great questions, huh?
What a great interviewer.
I'm fucked up right
Tim
now,
is
guys.
just the best.
He's
No,
the
no,
best.
I'm-
That's why he's the voice.
Look, bro, I was drinking and smoking. Like, I didn't expect to be here this
You got the
long.
desk back there with no camera, so you can do whatever you
Yeah, with a big ass spinning wheel in the
I
back
was.
of you.
I went there.
He gonna spin it too. Look at him.
when,
Oh,
when
there
you
we
guys
go.
when you guys were playing, I went to him. I was like, "Oh, this is not gonna be good. I'm fucked up."
He thought that he was like, hey, I'm like, no, you're not sloppy, bro. Like, there's been interviews where he gets a little bit too, happy, and he starts doing his little, and I go, you're good. It's because of the vibe. It's the people in here. It's different. Yeah.
I start getting like weird. I start like coming up with like different things. Wait, you guys ready?
We're gonna do a cover. What about? I don't even know.
So we talking about going through cover songs that we used to do or whatever, but you
'Cause we
know,
did the other ones, right? Did we do all the other ones? You guys got the other songs that we?
yeah, they did.
Okay.
Look at Tim. All you can see is just his eyes above the what's it called? His
Yes.
monitor right there.
He's ready for the show.
Dude, love life.
You guys know that one? I don't know.
Come on,
They
bro.
don't know that
You've
one.
never done that on the show. You always say you'll do it, but you never do it.
What? I thought we did that last time.
Yeah. You're like, next time, bro. I just listened to the last interview.
No, we would have to get that whole thing together. We have to go through that whole thing again, man. We would have to go that whole thing. Yeah, it's that one.
Hey Tim.
Bro, how many times do you think
Hey
I listened to
Tim.
that song? Give
Real
it up.
talk. Hey, can I use your restroom?
Yeah, go.
Yeah, we got
You did lock me in here for about like goddamn hour.
No, man, break
I've been just drinking.
Any Samoan can. We're good. We're
You
good.
took me to the universe and back and told me about DNA and